The following is a project of our nonprofit newsroom. Support Midcoast Morning and local community-centered journalism today by signing up to be a monthly sustaining donor at chly.ca/donate. It doesn't take much money to support local news.
Hello and welcome to Midcoast Morning. I'm Joe Pugh. Tonight is a chance for the public to shape the future of a potential new skate park in Ladysmith. There's an open house on the subject at 6:15 tonight at the Frank Jameson Community Center. There will also be an online survey about the project, also opening tonight. Today on the show, we'll bring you details on the new skate park process and get the story on a new skate park in Qualicum Beach that's about 2 months away from having shovels in the ground. I got in touch with Jesse Manor, president of the Ladysmith Skate Park Society. Can you tell me what the skating community is like in Ladysmith?
It's growing pretty well. It started off 2 summers ago. We started a midweek skate session where we invite anyone out to the park to come just check out what we're doing or want to be part of it. We just welcomed everyone. And we have some days where we have a couple kids or, adults show up. And then we have some other days where we have up to 30 people show up. And we're just trying to promote skateboarding and the skate culture in our town.
And can you tell me about where the skating happens in Ladysmith?
We have a skate park in Ladysmith, located right beside the community center. So that's where we meet up every week.
And the skate park is in the process of undergoing a redesign. There's going to be an open house Wednesday about it. Can you tell me, from your perspective, what your thoughts are on it?
Yeah, so we have a skate park in town here. It's dated. It's in need of a repair, and that's what we've been working at. So we've been working at this project for a few years now, and we finally had a public engagement a couple months ago where the people in town or whoever wanted to come and voice their opinion of what type of park they would like to see built, if we could have a rebuild. So we had a builder come in, we gave our opinions, and then that went out, and this engagement coming up on Wednesday will be hopefully some designs and ideas of what a park could look like. And then there'll be another opportunity for the people in town here to give their opinion on what they would like to see again.
So what kinds of things contribute to a good skating park?
So the skate park here in town, the biggest complaint is the lack of flow to it. So there seems to be a lot of dead spots in the skate park. So where you'd say you roll down a ramp or a bank of some sort and you try to get to the next feature across the park and you'd lose all momentum. So you'd be pushing through the park to try to get to other spots. Also just a park that's a bit better for progress. So our park in town here is pretty difficult to skate. The features are pretty difficult. So there's nothing really for the beginner, I'd say. And then, the surface of the park is pretty rough. Like I said, it's dated. It's pretty old. So the concrete's getting pretty rough and it needed some work.
Can you compare and contrast maybe the park in Ladysmith with some of the other skate facilities around the Mid-Island?
Yeah. So, like I said, our park's dated. You go to any community kind of around us, Chemainus, Cedar, you go to Nanaimo, you start heading south towards like Duncan, or you go north, anywhere else, the towns are starting and communities are starting to seem to put a lot more work into their parks. A lot of the communities close to us actually have newer parks, so the people around here would rather go to those than stay at our local.
What's so it's December as we're talking. That's when I said skate, I imagine a lot of people probably imagined like ice skating. Can people skate around Vancouver Island in the winter?
Oh, for sure. That's the best thing about living on the island. We do get rain and snow, of course, but on the off days where you get the nice sunny days, that's when it is. You'll see the parks are busy with anyone out using them.
And to get involved in the skateboarding community, to learn to do it, how does someone break in?
Just show up. It's an amazing way to meet people. Maybe there's a bit of a stereotype or something where people think that the parks can be rough or, some bad people are hanging out, and I completely disagree with that. It's a great way to meet people from any age or ability, and you just show up and join in.
Is there any particular time or like group to go to or way to know when to make that happen?
Well, here in Ladysmith, like I said, we have our Wednesday skate park sessions. Those are usually during the warmer and drier months of the season, but yeah, we start those, be 4:00 in the afternoon till dark, and anyone's welcome, any ability.
And what kind of stuff do you need to start skateboarding?
Just get a board, and then whatever protective gear you'd like to wear. So
this open house Wednesday night about the Ladysmith skate park, what are you hoping to see come out of that? Well, what we're shooting for is a complete rebuild of our park. So we're hoping that with this open house, they have some plans or drawings of what the park could look like, and then we'll go from there. So hopefully our next step will be, after choosing this, is bring it to council. And what do you think is the ideal timeline in your head for when this could get done, when you could be skating at a redesigned park? Hopefully in the next couple of years. It's a lot of work to do this. Like I said, we've been at this now for almost 4 years. I think we've been putting at this, and it could be a 5 to 10 year project to get this done. Is there anything else you think it's important to let people know about this open house in Ladysmith or the new skate park project? Just come out and show your support. That's it. Come out and tell us what you want, what you don't want, and that'd be it. Just show your support in the community. Well, Jesse, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. Yeah, no problem. Jesse Manor is president of the Ladysmith Skate Park Society. I also reached out to the town of Ladysmith for more info about tonight's open house.
My name is Chris Barfoot. I'm the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Culture here for the town of Ladysmith.
And what kind of input are people going to have the chance to provide on this skate park Wednesday night?
Yeah, so we've had one engagement session where people identified kind of some of the current uses that are happening in the existing skate park. What is working, what's not working, what can we improve on? From there, we've had new line skate parks taken that information and all that feedback, which was both done in person and electronically through online surveys. And they've come up with breaking down the park into the various areas that were identified. I'm no skateboarder, so I don't want to mess up the language that I'm using. But the flow of the park was identified as needing some improving. And then the type of skate park that it is. There's street style, there's bowl style, and then there's the flow. So they've taken that feedback and they've created 3 different options to consider and build the design from. And that's what our engagement session is coming up, is they're going to present those and get further feedback from the community and an opportunity for them to provide comments, suggestions, and to help finalize that final design. And then, so it's really good. It's important that we've had great turnout from the skateboard and scootering and biking community. So it's an all-wheels park that we're looking at. And we've received fantastic feedback from the community. And there's a really great advocacy group here that has really changed the dynamic of the skate park and has really put the focus on where we want that skate park to go, possibly.
How far along are you in this process? What could still change, and what's the path forward after this open house?
So right now, what we're doing is we're looking at the feasibility of what that change could look like. So in order to do that, we needed to get the design. So right now, we're in the design phase. From that design, we'll be able to come up with some ballpark or some costing of what that may cost and how to possibly fund that. That information would then go to council for review. And then, at one point, if council supports, we would look at including that into our long-range financial plan. But they will also give the advocacy groups and other community members to maybe look at how are we going to fund this? What is the cost? We don't know any of that information at this point, so the design is a great place to begin.
What are some of the budgetary concerns or thoughts, or how do you approach that then at this stage?
At this stage, there's lots of unknowns. So part of the investigation for the design was looking at the topography of the existing site, the drainage on the existing site, the suitability of the material that's underneath the skate park. So all those items need to be determined, and then the design that would be potentially laid on top. We also wanted to see if there was any aspects of the park that we could repurpose or keep there, so that would help maybe reduce costs. But yeah, really, it's a little premature right now to determine what those costs or budgetary constraints would be, because we don't know really what the costs might be at this point. But we are getting closer, and the design will be the big first step in that.
What do you think is the timeline for this then to go to, say, a council to get a yes or a no or a change this on maybe the budgetary aspects?
Yeah, so the design is anticipated to be completed and ready to be presented to council or in the early new year. So probably by the end of January, we anticipate having something to go to council for information. And likely we'd look at, based on that feedback from council or direction from council, we'll look at where we would slot that into our long-range financial plan. And then also we'd be able to go back to our advocacy group and see, from a funding perspective, is there any, what opportunities are there for additional funding, whether it be through grants, whether it be through donations, and to go from there.
Do you have an ideal timeline on when you think, if everything works out smoothly, people could be skating in an upgraded park?
I don't at this point. As I mentioned, this is a feasibility analysis, so it'll really be what the design and the feasibility analysis will determine what those next steps will be, and we can't really determine that until that has been completed.
And what would you say to someone to encourage them to come out Wednesday night and provide some feedback?
Oh, that feedback's important. We want to, if we're going to get to the point where an investment will be made into that skate park, we want to make sure that investment, hits the target of what the current users and the future users want to see in that park. So if people are interested in using that park, or there was something that was prohibiting them from using the existing park, this is an opportunity to make sure that those concerns are addressed and that those wish lists or desires of what the skate park can be are incorporated into the design. So having people come out and provide their input is very, very important for us to ensure that the product at the end of the day is the product that meets the community needs.
Is there anything else you think it's important to let the public know on this?
No, not at this point. I think we've had great success so far with the feedback that we have received. The advocacy group and skate has transformed what skateboarding is again in the community, and I can tell you that the vibrancy around that space already in its existing form has transformed to an extremely positive, family-friendly environment and atmosphere, and especially in the summer months. On a Wednesday night is a skate night for that group, and that park is so well used. And yeah, it's become a very important community gathering space. So we want to make sure that it's meeting the needs of what this community sees for it in the future.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me about it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Chris Barfoot is Director of Parks, Recreation, and Culture for the town of Ladysmith.
Midcoast Morning is made possible by the Community Radio Fund of Canada and generous listeners like you. Support and grow our nonprofit newsroom project today at chly.ca/donate with a monthly or one-time donation. With your support, we can expand Midcoast Morning from 2 to 3 original programs per week to cover local news, current affairs, and arts and culture.
So far on today's program, we've been talking about plans for a new skate park in Ladysmith. There's an open house tonight about the project, which is still in the design and feasibility stage. Further up island in Qualicum Beach, a new skate park is close to becoming reality, with plans for construction to start in a couple of months. I spoke with someone who's been part of the team pushing that project towards the finish line.
My name's Corey Harrison, and I'm part of the fundraising team for the Qualicum Beach Skate Park Revitalization Project.
And shovels are set to go into the ground on that project in February. Can you tell me about the journey that's led up to that point?
Sure, yeah, we're very excited. Hopefully we break ground in the beginning of February with New Line Skate Park. They are the developer that's been chosen by the town of Qualicum. And all of this just began with a family, the Reed family, Lindsay and Josh Reed, and their daughter Penelope, who frequented the Qualicum Beach Skate Park and found that it was quite derelict and not very good condition, and definitely unsafe for use, for especially beginner skaters. So Lindsay took it upon herself to approach the town of Qualicum, and she gave a presentation to town council to talk about, the importance of skate parks and free facilities of that kind in communities. And that's kind of where all of this movement began. And thus she brought together a group of just concerned citizens, parents, skaters, who all wanted to invest some time in fundraising to redevelop the park. She was successful in obtaining a $1.2 million donation or $1.2 million worth of support from the town of Qualicum. And based on the original assessment and design that was done, the user group was tasked with fundraising $300,000 to complete a total of 1.5 to redevelop the skate park.
And can you tell me what that journey of raising $300,000 looked like?
Absolutely, yeah. It was a lot of grassroots efforts, primarily, again, spearheaded by Lindsay and her family. It involved art on deck events. So skateboards were donated and multiple artists in the community would step up and decorate them. And then those decks were auctioned off. Myself and another woman, Ashley Kuramoto, in the community, we put together a mini golf event that was very kindly donated by the family that owns the Riptide Lagoon Adventure Golf Space. Many small businesses stepped up and sponsored different holes at the golf tournament. So it's been a massive grassroots effort. There was also a massive donation kicked in by the Rotary of Qualicum Beach Rotary community. They're actually our single biggest donor. A grant application was done to them, and a few youth, along with Lindsay, did a presentation there. They've donated $50,000 towards the skate park as well. We've had Quality Foods step in and donate $15,000. So it's been a lot of community support and a lot of really creative events, including tattoo parlors who donated, the proceeds of tattoos for a day, and lots of fun stuff like that.
Gory Harrison has been involved in the process to raise funds for a new skate park in Qualicum Beach. Also involved in the skateboarding community there is Dave Murphy. What is the skating community like in Qualicum Beach?
It's quite vast. There's a lot of skateboarders living there that you wouldn't know about because of the park. We never had a park where people could gather. So myself, I moved there being a skater, but I felt kind of lonely, almost half depressed, because I was like, there's no skate scene here. The park is not great. My son stopped skating. But through this journey of the QB skaters and the advocacy, I realized there's a massive community there, but everybody's just kind of on their own program. They have ramps at their house, or we travel to Nanaimo or Victoria or up to Courtney to other parks that are more suitable to use. So, but there's retired professional skaters and there's a huge, the whole push for this was for the youth. There's a massive young community there now. So, it's going to be amazing to have a brand new skate park for them.
The organizers of the group you mentioned, QB Skaters, Josh and Lindsay Reed, On their Instagram account in August, they shared that behind the scenes they faced negativity and toxicity that have taken a toll on them personally. What kind of challenges came along with getting this new skate park?
Well, I think it took quite a toll. They really poured their whole life, to the point of like taking time off work to really get this park going. It ends up being almost a full-time job trying to get the funding and organize everything. And it's like everyone has opinions. So I think they just face a lot of strong opinions of people, community members who wouldn't necessarily be in support of a skate park. They think tax dollars should be spent differently. So I think they get a lot of strong opinions, and that starts to weigh on you.
I was speaking with someone else about this process, and they mentioned that maybe almost like skating can still have this reputation of being a little bit like something that punks do. Is that something that you experienced at all during the process?
Surprisingly, not too much. I mean, it's such a mainstream accepted, sport or thing to do. It's an Olympic sport now. There's professional leagues of, there's a nice career path to actually be a professional skateboarder. So, yeah, it's not too, but I mean, skateboarding's always had that kind of anti-establishment and kind of do your own thing. And that's the one thing that is cool about it. These kids, for $300, you can get pretty much the best top of the line skateboard you can imagine, a pair of shoes, and you're good to go. You don't need all the support and the super expensive gear to say play hockey or other activities. So that's what I like about it. Once the park's built, it's there, it's accessible, it's for everybody to use at any time.
What exactly is going to be new and different about the skate park when it's ready to go?
Well, the old one, not take away, there was, in the past, there was a community members that went through the same thing as us to get that thing built, but it was built in a time when skate park design and building techniques weren't as established as they are now today. Now the designs and the angles on everything is very dialed in and precise. So the parks are just a lot safer. They look a lot nicer, and they offer a lot more in the actual designs to keep skaters engaged.
How would you compare, or how would you assess what the skate park scene is like in various communities around the Mid-Island?
I think, well, in the island as a whole, I think it's like booming kind of. I think it's in a really good place. There's 2 brand new, really nice parks down in Victoria. One of them is like one of the better ones. I've been to parks all over North America. Topaz in Victoria is amazing. There's another one on the West Shore. There's like Chemainus has nice parks, and Nanaimo has a nice park. Port Hardy just currently is just finishing up a brand new park that looks really nice. So this Qualicum one will kind of fill in that Mid-Island void. And Gabriola too, they have quite a nice park. So the island's in a place where people can come here and it's like a tourist destination to just come hit all the skate parks, because they're all kind of relatively close, and you camp out and enjoy the rest of the island life as you check out a park.
In Ladysmith, they're in the midst of a process of hopefully getting a new skate park built. There's an open house Wednesday night. What would you have as maybe advice to the skateboarding community in Ladysmith as someone who's witnessed this kind of process, been involved in this kind of process, and is a little further down the road in it?
Probably just to stay positive, stay engaged, and be prepared for, it's not going to happen overnight, but just stick with it. Yeah, that's great to hear.
If someone wants to get into the skateboarding community and they've never tried it before, they've never done it before, what can they do?
Well, you could probably start by going out to like a reputable shop and getting geared up with the proper equipment. And then, I don't know, maybe just see some places through the shop. Maybe there's somebody local that offers some sort of lessons. or just, I think, basically get the gear and go to one of the new parks. People, skaters are quite friendly, so you'll get helped out if you're there and trying to learn. Somebody's just gonna step up and help you out. So yeah, I would just go to one of the new parks.
Is there anything else you think it's important to let people know about the new skate park or the skating community in Qualicum Beach?
Well, one, to stay tuned to try and help out with any of the fundraising to get it actually fully built. And two, it's going to be an amazing, once it's built, we want to break ground in February and possibly have it ready, like midsummer. It's going to have lights on it, so it's going to be an amazing space for people to come check out Qualicum and hang out.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me about it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for getting it out to the masses to hear what we're doing.
Dave Murphy is a member of the skateboarding community in Qualicum Beach. That's our show for the day. Thank you for joining me. I'm Joe Pugh, host and producer of Midcoast Morning. Jesse Woodward is our executive producer, and RB Frew is our technical advisor. You can sign up for CHLY's newsletter at chly.ca/subscribe for updates from our nonprofit newsroom and more. Our theme song is First One by local Nanaimo band Waste Management. If you have a story you'd like us to cover, email us at news@chly.ca. That's all for now. I'll talk to you on another Midcoast Morning.
Midcoast Morning would not be possible without the funding of the Community Radio Fund of Canada's Radio Meters program and listeners like you. Midcoast Morning is a project of CHLY's nonprofit newsroom. Support nonprofit journalism in Nanaimo and on the Salish Sea today by becoming a monthly sustaining donor at $5 or more per month. Support the program at chly.ca/donate. If you're already a supporter, record a voice memo telling others where you're listening from and why they too should support our work. After you're done, you can email it to us. Also, share the podcast with your friends. While Meta is blocking Canadian users from sharing news content on their Facebook feeds, you can still share our podcast directly with your friends via Facebook or Instagram Messenger. Finally, this program acknowledges and gives thanks to the Snuneymuxw First Nation as we broadcast and podcast from their traditional territory. Thanks for listening.